I want to start here because this is where everything starts. My city, Cape Coast. I grew up in the shadow of that castle. Not literally, but you understand. When you grow up here, you carry history in a particular way. You know that everything you have, your language, your food, your very existence, survives something enormous. And that knowledge is not a burden. It is, once you understand it properly, a kind of fuel. My name is Ama Darko. I am 31 years old. I was born in Cape Coast General Hospital on a Saturday, which in Akan tradition means I am a Saturday-born woman, Ama. My parents are Daniel and Grace. My grandmother was Maame Efua. Maame Efua is the reason this series exists. She is the reason I exist in the way that I do. I want you to understand who she was before you see a single dish. My grandmother was born in 1938. She had a primary school education and then she stopped going to school because the family needed her at home. She married at 19. She had 6 children, 4 of whom survived. She cooked every day of her adult life for her husband, for her children, for her grandchildren, for her neighbors, for anyone who came through the door. She cooked on a wood fire until she was 80 years old. She never wrote any of it down. Everything was in here. And in here. When she died, I flew home and I spent 3 weeks in this kitchen, her kitchen, trying to write it all down. Cooking every dish I could remember and writing furiously. Calling relatives at 2 in the morning. The palm nut soup, how many garden eggs? Was it 5 or 7? Think. That was the hardest thing I have ever done. And also the most important. I have a complicated relationship with loss. I think most Ghanaians do. We lose things constantly. To time, to development, to the global culture that sweeps in and makes the old ways seem less valuable than they are. Food is one of the things we lose quietly. An elderly woman dies, her recipes go with her, and nobody holds a funeral for the food. But the food is gone. I decided a long time ago that I was not going to accept that. Not for my grandmother's recipes, and not for Ghanaian food more broadly. I was not trained as a chef. I trained as a writer. I studied communications. And I came to cooking through writing about food. Trying to describe it precisely, trying to do it justice on the page, until I realized that the only way to really understand it was to do it myself. My first cooking video was of my grandmother's palm nut soup. I filmed it in my kitchen in Accra with my phone propped up against a pot. I did not have lighting equipment or a script or any real idea what I was doing. I just cooked it the way she cooked it. And I talked about her while I cooked, because I needed to talk about her. More people watched it than I expected. The messages I received from that video, from Ghanaians in London, in Canada, in the United States who said, "My mother makes this," or "My grandmother used to make this, I had forgotten the smell." Those messages told me something. They told me that this was not just nostalgia. This was something people needed. In Ghana Table, I am going to cook for you. Really cook, properly, carefully, with full attention to every ingredient and every technique. But I am also going to tell you stories. Because for me, those two things are not separate. The story of where a dish comes from, the region, the occasion, the women who made it for generations before any camera existed, that story is not a decoration on the recipe. It is the recipe. My grandmother could not have imagined this. A screen, a camera, someone watching her cook from 10,000 miles away. But she understood something essential that I try to carry into everything I make. She understood that when you cook for someone, you are saying you matter to me. Your hunger matters, your pleasure matters, your history matters. That is what I am saying to you. With every episode, with every dish, with every ingredient laid on this counter, and every story told above this fire. You matter. Welcome to Ghana Table.